Joining us now on the line, the pride of Hamilton, Juno Award winner, and I believe Nick Nurse's agent. I can't confirm that, but I think it's in the works. Max Kerman of the Arkells. Max, it's been too long, man. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to talk to you guys.
Well, thank you for jumping on. We'll get to what you're doing with Budweiser here this weekend, which is incredibly cool. We'll get to that in a second and get the details. But as a sports fan, which we know you are deeply in your soul, are you getting the same feels that the rest of us are getting as we move into this weekend of just glorious sports action?
Yeah. The equilibrium in my life, and probably a lot of people can relate to this, has not been there. You have these releases that you normally get after like a long day, or if you're stressed out, and that's like going to a ball game or going to see a hockey game or going to a concert, and none of that's been in our lives really for the last 6 months. So I'm very, very excited. Yeah, I follow my Twitter and Instagram is mostly just sports related stuff. So seeing all the gang back in action, it's like giving me goosebumps. So I'm very excited.
Sid mentioned your relationship with Nick Nurse, but is it true that you also went on the Leafs trip last year, the Toronto Maple Leafs trip, as Kyle Dubas's mentor, because it was a mentor's trip?
Yeah, actually, it was just before everything shut down. It was in February. We got to go down to New York and travel with the team, and Kyle's an old friend of ours. He's around my age, and he went to Brock. I went to McMaster, and we just have a lot in common. And his wife, Shannon, who's lovely, she's a Hamilton gal. And so we have some mutual friends. And for like an I think of a birthday present, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, she got in touch and asked if he could come by the studio when we were working on an album. And we kind of hit it off from there. And we share a lot of podcasts and books. And, he's such an impressive, hardworking guy. And he was kind enough to invite me down. He actually sent me a photo, I guess, from the Royal York. They've sort of outfitted the Leafs floor with like a wall of photos of like everybody part of the organization. That's like, we're all here with you, even though we're separated. And it was a picture of Kyle and I arm in arm at the Leafs game. So I thought that was kind of nice.
So you're tight with Nick Nurse. You're tight with Kyle Dubas. If I ever need tickets, I know where to go. Max, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I got some ins now. I grew up in downtown Toronto, college in Spadina, loving all the Toronto sports teams. So it's a little surreal that I'm like, I get to text the head coach of the Raptors. My first email address was Vince_Kerman at hotmail.com.
Of course.
I was obsessed with Vince Carter, and I have like drawings of Damon Stoudemire from like 96.
Of course you do.
Nick's been good. He's been practicing a lot. He sent me some voice notes of Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. That's what he's working on at the moment. He's also working on I Shall Be Released by Bob Dylan. So he's into sort of the classics. That's what he's practicing right now in the bubble. He has a keyboard down there in his hotel room. No
doubt. A lot of free time down there. Max Kerman of the Arkells here on Tim and Sid. Max, forgive me. Time is not our friend here, but we do want to talk about the initiative with Budweiser this weekend with the Arkells and hockey beginning. What do we need to know about your relationship here in #OneTeamTribute?
We're really excited. There's a lot. The music industry is like trying different ways to sort of come back, and everybody has to be really cautious. And nothing's really been that appealing to us, honestly, when it comes to like coming back and performing live. But then when Budweiser came to us with this one team initiative, which is this idea of like, let's honor all the essential frontline workers that have shown so much leadership over the past number of months. And let's play some songs for them. We were like, we are in. This feels like an amazing thing to do. And so we set up down at Budweiser stage, and we played a bunch of songs. And it felt so good to be back together with the band. At the top of our minds the whole time was just thinking about all the people that got us to this point. Because if we didn't have the steady hand of public health officials guiding us along, and these really like brave people that go to work in the service of others, we wouldn't have a chance to come back and play music together. So like the goodness that we have in our lives just really starts with their sacrifice, and we're just so happy that we can maybe lend a smile or bring a little bit of joy through our music.
I love what you said. So agreed. That's how we agree on this show. And I know that this is nothing new to you, lending a hand. Like we did a segment for a long time called the Good News of the Day because there wasn't enough good news being spread out there by the rest of the newsmakers. And you guys came up a couple of times, from online music classes to delivering instruments to schools with Nick Nurse to serenading college grads back home in Hamilton. Like we understand it's also been tough on your industry, so we want to give you a little tip of the cap for spreading goodness out there, and this is one of those things. So thanks for stopping by, and thanks for doing what you're doing in the community.
The only things that get me through are the people that are as generous as possible, and the fun we have in our lives, where it's like rivalries between Toronto and Montreal, like all that stuff is set aside in the last few months because it's like, all right, we're all on the same team, we're in this together, and that's the only way we're going to get through it. So. We just try to lend a hand where we can.
Awesome.
Here. Max, great stuff, man. We appreciate it. Take care. Let's do this again.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks, guys.